Okay, we're going to solve these two-step equations, and we're going to first start by isolating the variables. So in this first one, the 3x minus 1 equals negative 4. To do so, we're going to add 1 to both sides. And the negative 1 and the positive 1 will cancel out, and you're going to get 3x equals negative 3. Now you want to do the opposite of what's happening here. You want to get this variable by itself. Well, this variable is being multiplied by 3. So you're going to divide both sides by 3. 3 divided by 3 cancels out, and your answer is x equals negative 1. Do not write it as 1x equals negative 1. That's not the way it's done in higher level math. Maybe in pre-algebra, but not in algebra and beyond. So now we're going to check. So let's write out the problem. 3x plus 1 equals negative 4. Now where we have x, we're going to substitute in for negative 1. And, oops, yeah, back here. Alright, you can also kind of write a question mark right there. So 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. That's supposed to be a minus, sorry. Minus 1 equals negative 4. You can use the same change to get plus negative 1. And when you do so, you're going to wind up with negative 4 equals negative 4. So that checks out. Alright. I just saw that as being a plus when I crossed that out. So with that original problem, this shows that the solution is negative 1. Alright, moving on over here. Right, for this one, we have negative x divided by 2 plus 3 equals negative 5. We're going to need to start off by isolating this variable. So we're going to first subtract 3 on both sides. And the plus 3 and minus 3 are going to cancel. You need to, you can say, okay, we have negative 5 minus 3. That's what we have here. When we look at this, we use same change. That can be negative 5 plus negative 3, which equals negative 8. So this we get negative x divided by 2 equals negative 8. Now we need to multiply both sides of the equation by negative 2. Why multiply? Well, we have division. Negative x divided by 2 is division. Why negative 2 and not positive 2, and we have a positive 2 here, is because our variable is negative. So you're not going to write the variable, you're not going to write this as x divided by negative 2. Whenever you're basically doing that, you're always going to write your negative on the denominator, which is the top term. So we're going to multiply both sides by negative 2. The negative times negative cancels out, so our variable is going to be positive. And the 2's cancel out, and we get x equals negative 8 times negative 2. Negative times negative is positive, so we get x equals 16. Again, to check, write out the original problem. That's negative x divided by 2. This was plus 3 equals 5. Now, so we're going to say negative, and then 16 is our, I'm sorry, that's supposed to be negative 5, divided by 2, and then let's go back to our color here, plus 3 equals negative 5. We get negative 8 plus 3 equals negative 5, and we get negative 5 equals negative 5. That checks out. So these are how to do our two-step problems. First, we isolate the variable, and again, we're using our inverse operations, and then we solve, and then we check our work. We also can solve this using the property. So if we want to solve this using the properties, let's put a color here. So first thing, this is our given. Okay, this is what you're given. And then we're going to add 4 here to both sides. because we want to start off by isolating the variable. When we add 4 here, this is our, put this in the right color, this is our addition property of equality. Addition, I'm just going to write prop of equality. Okay, so that's our first one. And now we're going to cancel this out. So we're going to get 3x. You could put plus 0. Sometimes you will see this written out. If you see the plus 0 here, then that would be your inverse property. Oops, I meant to change that color. Let's write that out right there. So this is your inverse property. Why? Because you have the negative 4 plus 4. Okay, so that's your inverse property. Now, but honestly, most of the time you're not going to write that out. Okay, so then you'll just have 3x equals 3. And then you're going to divide both sides here by 3. I should have changed that color. And when you do that, you are using, again, the division property of equality. Okay, so the division property, oops, of equality. And then you wind up with x equals 1. There's no property there. This is your answer. And of course, you would always check. So I'll squeeze it in here. Check. So 3 times 1. We're just going to write here 3. 3 minus 4 equals negative 1. Okay, you can put a question mark. Is that true? Yes, negative 1 equals negative 1. So you solved that right. So that's you doing a two-step equation, just using the properties as shown.